This is the UVM test bench architecture for doing the D flip flop. So this is the design synchronous D flip flop. Here we have the inputs data, clock, reset, and output is Q. So when reset is 1, output Q is 0. The else part, whatever you are giving as data in, that is the output Q. So based on the design, you have to write the sequence item. Okay. So in sequence item, you have to write the input and output. Data is the input and Q is my output. So data we are going to randomize, so that should be declared as random. So here it is a single bit only. This is the flip flop, single bit flip flop. So I declared a bit. So this is a macro is used to register the sequence item with the factory. So we should register these properties or fields to the factory with the help of the UVM field macro. This you can use in bit is also a type of int. Okay? So you can use this macro and you can register this data and queue to the factory. So this is a flag UVM all on. Okay? So that we can place the methods like copy, compare. Okay, those methods that data will be support for that. So once you complete this, you have to write the explicitly write the new constructor. It is available quickly. Again, you have to write it here. So it is a type of a object. Okay. So no need to pass the handle of parent. It is a component. You have to pass the parent handle also. Then if you need, you can write the constraints. Okay. So this sequence item and interface. So this is the interface we are using. So the actual interface module DFF INTF is the name of the interface. Here I am getting clock and reset as a input. This should be declared as a logic. So here I wrote a clocking block for driver and monitor. Okay. So clocking and clocking within that clocking driver at passage of clock. Here you can mention the skews. Clocking block is used for mentioning the to specify the input and output skews. So here with respect to the driver, okay, data is the output from driver, data is output. That data is given to input for the DUT. Okay. So for driver, data is a output and Q is a input. Okay. From DUT, this Q is sending to the driver. Okay. DUT is output, for driver that is input. So default values as 1, output is as 0. So here I represent input and output skews. And I write another clocking block that is for monitor. For monitor, both data and Q, both are inputs only. So monitor that will only it will capture the whatever the values in from driver to DUT and DUT driver, everything it is captured. Right? So this input. Then here I write a mod port for driver. So mod port gives the direction of the signal. Okay. So here in clocking block itself, we mentioned the direction. So just we call the clocking block here. So this clocking block does not containing the clock and reset. Okay. So we are including the clock and reset here. And this is for monitor. So once sequence item and interface is complete, we can start to design the test bench. So test bench, here the first thing we have to include the file in a proper hierarchy. Okay. For that what I did is I create a package. Okay. So inside the package is a keyword, in package is a keyword. So the package name is DFF package. Here I include my UVM macro, I import the UVM package and based on the hierarchy order, I include all the files. Okay. So this package I included here. Okay. And I import everything here by using import keyword. Star indicates everything within this package are imported here. So instead of mentioning here, I wrote in a separate package and I used it here. So why you have to mention before we start the top model means it should compile everything, okay, so that it will recognize what is this interface, okay, what is design, everything it should recognize, compiler should know, okay. That's why we are putting all the files in the hierarchy order. Then in top module we have to generate the clock and reset. Here we declare clock and reset as a bit, okay, and here I generate a clock, and here I create a reset, and after 10 I make reset as 0, and after 1000 I finished it. Then after generating the clock and reset, this should be passed to the actual physical interface handle. Okay, here df of intf is nothing but the interface module name. Okay, so that I instantiate here. This is the actual physical interface handle. In top module, I created a actual physical interface handle. Okay. So this one after created, I need to set in the config DB. Okay. So here, while instantiating, I pass clock and reset, which I created in the top module. You see in the interface, I am getting this clock and reset as an input. Okay, and I am using here. So this one I need to set in config DB by using set method. Here it is. So UVM config DB, it is a type of virtual interface. Okay, I am setting from null, that is top of everything. Okay, then star we can able to access everywhere. Then this is the value in this variable. I am setting this VAF. This VAF nothing but this one which I created here. Okay, whatever the name you are giving here, that should be mentioned in this position, and this is the variable which is registered in this name. It is registered in the factory. Okay. Sorry, inside the config database. Then in initial beginning, you have to start the run test. Then this is used for see the waveform. So in run test, you have to mention the test name. Okay, if you mention in the command line, no need to mention here. Plus UVM test name equal to test. I mentioned test here. Okay, so this is my actual test. Name of the class is test. I mentioned that one here. Okay, so if you want, if you no need to pass a command line, you have to mention here within double quote. You have to mention test here. So automatically it will initiate the test. Okay, so this test is extends from UVM test. So this is a type of component. So you should register the factory with the help of the UVM component utils. So in test, what we will do? We are doing two things. One is we are building the components environment. Okay, we are instantiating environment here. Environment is a class name. So the instance name is env. Okay, so here inside the build phase, I created object for the environment, okay, by using create method. So when I did this one, automatically what happened inside the environment, okay, inside the it will created it. Inside the environment, we are instantiating agent and scoreboard. Okay, so in build phase we are creating object for agent and scoreboard. So automatically agent will be created and scoreboard also created inside the environment. So in scoreboard, if you see, inside the environment, okay, in test we are instantiating environment and we are creating object. So environment is created. So inside the environment, we instantiated scoreboard and agent. So then we are create. If you create an object for it, it will be created. Okay, and scoreboard also created. So here we should make the connection between the scoreboard and monitor. So by using dot method, dot connect method, okay. So we have to make the connection between scoreboard and monitor. Okay. So monitor consists of this port, monitor to scoreboard put port. Okay. So this is the name of the port, TLM port, okay, which is created inside the monitor. Okay. I am connecting this port where it is present. It is present in monitor. The monitor is present inside the agent. So this is connected with the export. This is the name of the export which is present in the scoreboard. Okay. So scoreboard dot is the export name. So this connection you have to made it in environment. So inside the agent, if you see, these are the component available. So let's go to agent. So inside the environment, we are creating scoreboard and agent. Okay. So agent part automatically it will build, and within the environment, within the agent we have a sequencer, driver and monitor. Okay, we are instantiating these three components, and it is a new constructor for this agent, and inside the build phase we are creating object file. So these comments will be built inside the agent. Here with the help of dot connect method in the connect phase, okay, we have to make a connection between the sequencer and driver. Okay, so sequencer has the export and driver has the port, so that we have to connect. So driver dot sequence item port, okay, this is the port available defaultly in driver, and dot connect sequencer dot sequence item export. It is the export implementation method. It is available defaultly inside the sequencer. Okay. So that we have to made it in agent. Okay. So again we will go to the test part. So test is doing two things. One is building all the components, okay, from environment, agent, then other subcomponents. The another thing what test is doing, decide which sequence is passed to which sequencer. Okay. So here we are instantiating sequence. Okay. So first we will see the sequence. Sequence is nothing but as like a generator. Okay. So with the help of sequence item, it will generate the sequence. Sequence item I already discussed. Here, this is the sequence item. So in sequence, it should be declared. Okay, the class sequences extend from given sequence, and it should be parameterized with the type of the sequence item. So it is dealing with sequence item, right? So you should parameterize the sequence item. Sequence item is the type of this one. Okay. So it should be parameterized with the sequence item. Right. Then we are creating a constructor for the sequence, and in body method, okay, I'm 10 times I'm doing this process. Okay. So here I will just use this macro. Okay. You tick UVM do. So it will do automatically wait for grant. Okay, first it will create the sequence item. Okay, and it will wait for the grant, and it will randomize the sequence item, and it will send the request, there is sequence item. Okay. So everything it will do. So just use this UVM do macro. So it will automatically send the sequence item to the sequencer. Okay. So sequencer, it default it is extends from using sequencer, and also it should be parameterized with the type of the sequence item. So it is also dealing with sequence item. So you should parameterize it with the sequence item. Then you have to register the sequencer to the factory with the help of the UVM component. So this is a component. While creating you have to pass the name of the component and also parent. Then here defaultly get next item, okay, item and that methods are defaultly implemented here. Okay, so no need to write those methods. We are using those methods in the driver. We are calling that methods. With the help of this sequencer, the driver is receiving the sequence item. So this also should be parameterized with the type, sequence item type. Okay. Then here I am using, instead of passage of clock, I am using the clocking block which is present in the interface. To write this line every time, I define, okay, instead of writing this line, I define this line as a DRIV, okay, by using define. Okay. This is a compiler directive. Using that, instead of writing this line, I can write DRIV. Okay. So I defined it here. Then in driver part, I register the driver to the factory. Here in driver, I need the interface. Okay. So that I can transfer the sequence item. I can convert it, and I can transfer the sequence item to a pin level signal. So I need the virtual interface here. So I declared the actual interface as a virtual interface. Okay. But the handle where it is available in the config DB. Okay. Which is set here. In the app module, we set the actual physical interface to the VIF. Right. So this one I need to get in the driver part. Okay, in the build phase, I am getting here using that method UVM config DB is a type of virtual interface. By using get method, here I am getting, so this you can leave it as double quote. Here this VIF which is stored inside the config DB. Okay. So here this VIF I am using here. So this handle is passed to this VIF so that it will get the actual physical interface handle. So if I didn't get this one, I have to mention a fatal error. Okay, so that the simulation stops and it will do this fatal error. Then in run phase, so this is the port which is available defaultly in driver sequence item port. This get next item is implemented in this sequencer. Here I call this item and get the request. Request is nothing but the default handle of the sequence item. Okay. So I am getting the sequence item and I write a driver task here. So here what I did at each passage of clock. Okay. Here DRIV is nothing but VIF inside the driver, inside the clocking block driver. That means, so driver, inside that I have a clocking block. And inside the clocking block I mentioned passage of clock. Okay. So here I get the transaction, so I get the sequence item and I derive and this request sequence item consists of data. So that data is passed or sent to the data which is available in the interface. Okay. So the DUT receives the data and the actual process happens here. And it will send data to queue. Okay. So queue you will receive in the interface. So that we capture in the monitor. So once this driver process completes, how to use the method item just to stop this process. One transaction completes. So the monitor capture what are all the transaction happens in the interface. So here also I need the interface handle. This is the Inside the interface, I have a monitor mod port. Inside that, I have a clocking block or monitor. It consists of the passage of clock. So I define this as mon, and instead of this, I'm going to use tick mon. So the monitor is extended from UVM monitor, and this monitor is registered to the factory. Here monitor, I need to declare a port. Okay, analysis port you can use. Here I am just transfer this to a scoreboard. If you want to transfer to many components, you can use a analysis port. Here I use a normal port. Okay, put port I am using UVM blocking put port. I am defining monitor scoreboard put port. It's a type of UVM blocking put port. Okay, and it's going to support for the sequence item. So you should parameter the type of sequence item. And then sequence item I instantiated as a trans collector. Okay. From the interface, I am getting the signals and I am going to put inside this trans collector. So here I need the interface, so it instantiated as a virtual interface, and then using inside the build phase using the get method, I am getting the actual handle. Okay. So this VIF got the handle. Then in run task at each passage of clock, okay, it will take the data which is present in the interface and it is put to the data which is present in the trans collector. So this trans collector we created, right? It's a type of sequence item. Okay. We instantiated and we create an object for it so that you can able to put the data in the trans collector. So this is the data what we are sending, and Q is the output coming from the DOT. That also put inside the trans collector. So D and Q value we are putting. After that, this trans collector transaction is sent to the scoreboard with the help of this put method. So we are calling the put method here. This is acting as an API here. So this put method is implemented in the scoreboard. While creating the handle, while, while creating the port, you should create an object for it. Okay, inside the build phase, you have to create object for the ports also. Okay, in scoreboard, the scoreboard is extended from the game scoreboard and it is registered to the factory. So here you have to declare the export, that is implementation put UEM blocking put IMP. Okay, there I use put port, here I am using put implementation, and you mention the actual parameters with the sequence item type and component where you are creating. Then this is the name of the export. Then here I created a queue to store the transaction, that is a type of sequence item. Here I transfer ring, right, using inside the input method I am putting the trans collector actual sequence item here. Here I want to get that and I want to store that inside the queue. Okay, so I created a sequence queue that supports up to 10 sequence. So it's a type of sequence item. So trans collector is a type of sequence item. So this to store that, this should be declared as a type of sequence item. Okay, in the build phase, you need to create a memory or a object for the port, TLM ports. Then here we have to implement the put method. Okay, which is used in the monitor. We are accessing this put method in the monitor that you should write. the implementation of this put method should be right inside the scoreboard. Here what we are doing, we are getting the T. T is nothing but the this one, trans collected. Trans collected is a sequence item. Okay, trans collected. Here we are putting the trans collected in scoreboard. We are getting the trans collected. T is nothing but sequence item. Sequence item, trans collector also a type of sequence item. Okay. So here I am getting the trans collector as T, and this T is pushed back to a cube sequence. Okay. This is created here, right? Sequence item, this cube. Inside the queue, I am putting the collector transactions. Then in run phase, okay, here also I create an item. This is a type of sequence item. Okay. So here I am waiting for this queue size should be greater than 0. Okay. If I put one transaction inside the queue, the size is greater than 0. Okay. So automatically it will pop front. Okay. It will take the transaction from the front. Okay. That is stored in the item, and I am comparing the data and queue. So the data is the input we are sending to the DUT, and Q is the output which is coming from the DUT. Okay. So both in a single transaction we are comparing the data and Q. Okay. If it is matched, it will print test pass. Okay. This one. If it is failed, it will show the test fail, and it will show what is the actual data value, what is the actual Q value, okay, output value. So this is all about the scoreboard. So this is the waveform. So clock is generated and reset happens, and reset is 0. This will be active. Okay. So here at this passage of clock, it will sample just before the passage. Okay. So just before the passage, the value is 0, and this pass at this passage, Q value is 0. So it will happen like this. See, it will looks like it will happening on clock cycle delay, but actually at this passage of clock, just before the passage, the sampling will happen. Okay, we capture the data, and at this passage, it will reflect. So this is here just before this. This is 1. Here we are getting output 1. So if you take this passage, just before the passage happens, the value is 1. Okay. So here the output is 1. Just before the clock hits, the value is 0. Here my output is 0. The data is 0, and Q also 0. Okay, here just before the passage of clock, my data is 1, and here my Q output is 1. So in this way it will happen. So you will get the scoreboard. You are checking the D and Q, right? So you will get the result. Okay. There's a test case pass or fail. Okay, that's all about the flip flop.